Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. My name is Mercy and this is the Funny Pajamas YouTube channel. So this video is my May 2022 reading log. Most of my this month's log went to particularly I finished one series that I had on hold for a long time. I was missing one particular volume. But I'm glad I finished that series. So yeah, before I go any further, let me please take some time, smash that like button. Don't forget to hit that beautiful red subscribe button, become a subscriber to my channel, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you're notified every time I post something new. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get straight down into the reading log. So like I said, this month a big chunk of my reading went to one particular series, and that was Sweat and Soap. So I read volumes 4 to 11. That's the series ends at 11. I had read up till volume 3, but I was not able to get my hands on volume 5 for a very long time, and that kind of held up my reading of this. I'm glad that I was able to finish this series because I really liked the ending. I liked the entire series as a whole. This is a series that is really so well built. Okay, so let me just give you a brief synopsis of this series. So we've got, this is our couple is in the office setting in this particular series, so they are slightly older. Now there are some things which are, if you can get past awkwardness of the one of the main characters, I think you'll enjoy this series. So we've got our two main characters here, Asako and Natori, and in the same office. They work for this company which does bath and body works, stuff like that. And Natori is a project he's a developer, and Asako is in the accounting departments. And our main female lead, she has an insecurity. She sweats a lot, so she's very insecure about that. She's very cautious about that. She's always very conscious about how she looks and the problem which has plagued her for all her life. And then we come across Natori, who one day he's passing by her in the office hallway, and he gets a whiff of her, and he really likes the way she smells. So that's how the two of them meet. So the first meeting is really awkward, and if you can get past that and past Natori's habit of wanting to sniff Asako all the time, this is a very sweet and wholesome series. It's such a healthy romance. The way there is drama there times, but the way these two overcome their hurdles emotionally together, they talk it out, and the way they overcome each of the couple throughout the entire series, and this spans the entire relationship, all the hurdles they overcome, all the memories they make together, each stage of their relationship. And it's a really sweet story. You think a story, it's very wholesome. It's a very healthy relationship. The dynamics between these two is so healthy. Natori is always so supportive of Sako. Despite her insecurities, he helps her get over it. He's like the ideal boyfriend. If you can look past the sniffing thing and talk it out, and they always work and support each other, and that's what I really liked about this series. It has a beautiful ending. It leaves you mushy happy and smiling, a broad smile at the end of this series, which is very rare for a series. I don't know, I don't have much experience, but it is very rare, and I was so happy at the end of this series. And I definitely, now I have to warn you, when I first went into this series, I wasn't aware that it is an older teen series. I didn't know that it would have some really spicy scenes. So there are some very spicy scenes in this. So if that's not your thing, or if you're not of age, please, this is probably not for you. Wait for some read. But this is amazing. It is wholesome. It is sweet. It is the couple. They're just so adorable, and the way they support each other, the way they help each other, they're a perfect balance for each other. It's like a match made in heaven almost. And I really enjoyed my time with this series. I would definitely a very rereadable series. The type of series you're in the mood for a cozy read sort of thing. I don't know why. I felt cozy vibes of this. No idea why, because it's very slice of life, very romance-ish series. I definitely suggest you give this a go. Our two main characters are absolutely lovable, and they're so lovable together. So Sweat and Soap, it's a really nice series. I cannot sing its praises more. If you're old enough, and if romance with slightly older individuals is kind of your thing, give it a go. You're not going to regret reading this. I thoroughly enjoyed my time with this, and I'm so glad I was able to experience this series. I really hope they make it into an anime sometime soon, but I don't know. This is the type of series that I will definitely love reading in a cozy setting, nicely with a cup of coffee or something like that. I don't know why it gives me that vibes particularly, but I would generally enjoy this series. So I also read Wotakoi Love is Hard for Otaku Volume 2. Now when I first started off with Wotakoi, I was a little worried. Episodic series are not my kind of thing, so that is the reason I sort of strayed away from it. I was hesitant to pick up this. Then I heard so many manga tubers sing its praises, particularly Prof Otaku and particularly Boogie Snacks, and I decided, okay, my comfort zone, let me give it a go, and I'm so glad that I did. Now this is also another office place romance. It follows three couples here, and we've got these two and another set of another couple, and it explores their romance. And the thing is these are four lead characters. That's these two and these two. They are in the office setting, and they are otaku, so it's them balancing their love life and being otaku. So basically we start off with our first lead girl here, and she is hiding from everyone that she's, so all her relationships fail when they find out that she's a hardcore otaku, and it goes to such an extent that she even changes her job. She starts off at her new place and comes across this guy who happens to be her childhood friend. So he lets it slip, are you still an otaku, sort of, and then he puts it out, okay, we are both otaku, why don't we try dating each other and see how it goes. And are their senpais in the office place, and they are also dating, they are also otakus. So she's into cosplay, and and this guy's like a normal otaku. She's very heavy into cosplay, and she and are mainly, they're very much into BL and stuff like that. So it's fun navigating their stories. Now I thought all the series I liked. Now in this volume particularly, I like the structuring of this volume, how despite the series being very episodic, there was a sort of link between in this. It wasn't like the chapters didn't flow sequentially. There was one chapter, and then you get another chapter which is on a totally different incident, and then you pick up on the chapter after that, which is linked to the first one. And normally I would think that would be very jarring when you think of pacing wise, but it flowed really well in this. I thought the way they paced it was very unique and different, and I kind of liked it. There's a bit of intertwining storyline going on, not a large overarching plot or anything, but there was a bit of interarching storyline. So we meet these in this volume, are these two characters. We get a look at how they met, that they were actually high school, they went to the same high school, and how they started dating and how they met and their interaction. I think these two are really sweet as a couple. I like them more than our two main leads, that's these two. So yeah, Wotakoi, it's a office workplace romance, and it's for any otaku who loves romance. It gives a look into their lives. Maybe it's not extremely realistic, I don't know, but I enjoyed my time with this, and I can wholeheartedly recommend it to people. At first I thought maybe there are certain aspects that would alienate me, but on the whole I enjoyed it. It gave me more of an insight into workings and dynamics and stuff like that, so I would definitely give it a go. For me it was a very interesting read. Now I personally I'm not much into BL. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've ever owned BL, but this looking at these two girls, the way they gush over BL, I was like, okay, maybe I should give it a go, So yeah, Wotakoi Love is Hard for Otaku. It's sweet. It's very interesting. It's hilarious at times. It's absolutely hilarious at times. I found myself chuckling very loudly at times. So definitely give it a go. It's sweet, mushy, office place romance with slightly older couples. So yeah, I don't know. Is it a trend or I'm reading stuff with slightly older couples? Maybe not. Anyway, Wotakoi Love is for Otaku. I'm glad I took the plunge. I'm glad I stepped zone and decided to give this a go because I thoroughly enjoyed it. A box set is, I do believe the final volume is coming out now, but personally I don't think I'll be going in the box set route. I think I'm going to just collect this in the singles because I already have volume 3, so I need only 4 and 5. I don't know if the 6th volume is out. I don't know if there are 6 volumes or 5 volumes, but yes, Love is Hard for Otaku, give definite thumbs up. Next up, I have Fruits Baskets volumes 5 and 6. This is in the collector's edition. Allow me a moment to gush on these spines. These lovely pastel colors, I love it. And when you arrange them on the shelf together, they just look so gorgeous. I love these rainbow spine sort of things. Fruits Basket is a classic manga and anime. And I personally, I wanted to read the manga before I even watched the anime, not just the old one, but the newer version also. I know the Prelude movie is coming out, so I want to hopefully finish the series before I read the Prelude. I do believe the Prelude follows Toru's parents and their relationship, how they meet up. So we've got our main character Toru, and then she comes across these Somas. The Somas are a family, a very eccentric family. They've got a lot of secrets. And she comes across them and ends up living with them and stumbling across. So their secret is 12 members of this family end up taking on the form of each animal in the zodiac if they are hugged by a member of the opposite sex. So we've got like the boar, the tiger, the ox, the cat, the rat, the dog, and stuff like that. We've got all of them. And our three main characters are Yuki, who is the rat, Kyo, who is the cat, and Toru. And Toru, she finds out their secret and they let her in, and it's basically like a curse for these 12 members. And these 5 volumes gave us the first 4 volumes. They didn't really introduce Akito. Now, so I was wondering what Akito as a character, I'll see if I can find him. Who Akito as a character, what his role is. These 2 volumes, and she wants to really help the members of this family whom she befriends, and she becomes really good friends with all of them. She likes them. She forms bonds with all of them in various levels, in various manners. And Akito kind of he does not like her for it. He has this hatred, this malevolent hatred for her. He thinks she's butting in, and I don't know. Okay, I want to talk about this Akito character. He just seems so deranged. I really don't like him. He feels like the worst character. Now, like I said, I don't know if he's going to have a redemption arc or just how his story is going to pan out. But reading 6 and 5, I'm really invested in the series now. I will be reading as much of the series as possible, hopefully to finish the entire series. I have up to volume 12 of the collector's edition. Took me some time to get my hands on this particular volume actually. I don't know why. For a long time it was out of stock on the market, and it was going for exorbitant amounts. I just was not willing to pay that amount. So I played the waiting game and waited, and thankfully I was able to get my hands on all these volumes. This is one of the few series that I collected out of order, and I had no idea that it would be so difficult getting my hands on them, but luckily I was able to, and I'm so thoroughly happy about it. Now I'm reading through this series right now. Okay, another thing I wanted to talk to you about is the paneling in this series. The paneling is not something I'm used to. In the beginning, it took me some time to to get used to the panel structures, the panel layouts and stuff. But after that, once you get used to it, it flows really well. It's very different from, the paneling is very different from traditional manga, and I like it. The art style also may not be everyone's favorite, but I personally don't mind it. I like it. It in the beginning it was a bit jarring the way the characters were drawn, but you get used to it and I thoroughly enjoy it. So yeah, Fruits Basket, I'm enjoying my time with it right now. Don't know which direction the series is going to go in. These two volumes basically follows them. They're in, we get a backstory of one of Toru's friends, and we also get an idea, they go to a vacation home where they spend the summer vacation, and Akito ends up coming there and, sort of ruining the whole thing, and, how they overcome that hurdle. So yeah, it's got a lot more drama, a lot darker than you think. Something from the look of this series, from covers and all, you do not think it's going to be very dark, but it is very dark. And I was a little surprised that it was shoujo, because it has a lot of dark undertones and themes. So yeah, a lot of the characters are beginning to realize their feelings for each other. You get to see more dynamics. New characters are introduced. So yeah, I think at this point all the members of the Zodiac have been introduced. So very curious to see where it goes. Like, if I could say one word for this, curious is the word. I'm very curious to see what path this takes, how Toru destroys the curse, because I guess in the end she ends up breaking the curse. So yeah, it's a very intriguing read, very different from what I expected. Not at all anything like what I expected. I didn't expect it to be as dark or tackle themes as heavy as this series does. So yeah, Fruits Basket volumes 5 and 6. Another series I read was The Witch and the Beast volumes 6, 7 and 8. Now for a long time I wasn't able to find if there is a volume 9 or not. I was wondering, is volume 8 the final volume? But no, I believe there is volume 9. Now volume 8 does conclude an arc. I believe all three of these volumes follow one particular arc. And this is a dark gothic fantasy. It's very dark. It's very action heavy. Gido here is a total badass. So we've got our two main characters working for this organization. They are hunting down one particular witch. Particularly Gido, she's hunting one particular witch. And, in the process, they're tackling a whole lot of different cases. All the while, the only reason she works for this organization is because she wants help tracking down that particular witch for certain reasons. I'm not going to spoil that for you. But she's for that. So she's sort of, I'll help you, you help me sort of thing. So that's the only reason she helps out this organization. Asaf's like her friend. We get an idea how the two of them meet, which was in the previous volume. I don't think it comes in this volume. This volume, these three volumes, we get a bit more introduced to their world building. The world they're inhabiting has got various different levels and stuff like that, and we get introduced to that, but we mainly deal with a vampire class situation. So we've got lots of vampires in this in these two volumes, particularly volumes 7 and 8. While Gido and Ashaf are currently searching for their that particular witch, they come across this. They need to go to this world in which there are vampires and such, and there's a lot of political stuff going on. The way the vampire society is structured, their customs and the way they behave, and their rules and regulations and stuff like that. So there's a lot more world building than I expected. We are introduced to some new characters and their backstory and what they're doing. So the artwork in this is really, really good. The way this mangaka draws the eyes and the face and stuff is really, really well done. The action is superb. When you look at this, you think, okay, is this shoujo? But no, this has got a hell of a lot of action. It's very brutal at times. I did not expect it to be as dark and as action heavy as I thought as it is, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this series, and now I'll tell you one particular arc wraps up in volume 8. I'm very curious to see where volume 9 goes. I don't know how many volume series this is, because I really, for the life of me, I couldn't find online or anywhere how many volumes the series was. When I checked, there were only 8 volumes, so I was wondering, is 8 the end of the series? But it kind of it doesn't leave on a cliffhanger. it wraps off that arc, but it leaves certain questions, and we have our two main characters continuing on with their journey. So this is a series that I give high priority in my collection. I really enjoy this. Anyone who likes dark gothic fantasy, who loves action, who loves a badass female character, who is as all out as you can get, who's foul mouthed, who's dirty, who's totally tough as nails, and a very mysterious companion who's got his own secrets, who for some reason is helping her out. If that is kind of your thing, mystery, intrigue, a bit of political dynamic going on, adventure, fantasy, that sort of thing, The Witch and the Beast has it all. And if you are into, particularly if you like dark fantasy type things, The Witch and the Beast is probably going to be up your alley, and I would wholeheartedly recommend this as a read because I personally enjoy my time with it. I really enjoy my time with it. It's really fun. It's serious at many times. The world building is also very interesting. Their power system, their society, the way their society is structured, the customs, the cultural differences. I love it all in the series, and I can never stop singing the praises of The Witch and the Beast. So that's volume 6, 7 and 8. I also read volume 2 of Kaiju number 8. So Kaiju number 8 volume 2, we get the main Kaiju character. This is the Kaiju, our main character's the second main character. He's his friend. He befriends him. He's much younger than our main character. The main character in Kaiju number 8 is in his 30s, which is kind of different, which is very different for shonen, shonen mangas and anime and series. Protagonists are generally teenagers or youngsters. This is different. Our main protagonist is in his 30s, in his early 30s, I think, or mid 30s, and he gets turned into a kaiju. It's a world where kaiju are attacking. There have organization has been made that fights the kaiju, and he had made a promise. Our main character makes a promise to his childhood friend that they'll end up in this kaiju fighting force, and they will be the top fighters. Now his friend, the girl, ends up reaching her goal, but for some reason the main character Kafka never ends up reaching his goal. He ends up working in the kaiju cleanup force instead. The guys who clean up the corpse after the kaiju has been decimated. So he does now. This guy comes in, gives him a pep talk, tells him, I'm also aiming for this, and he gives him a pep talk and a reason to join the force. So the two of them form a good friendship, and they both apply for the defense force, and this is basically their story. Now in volume 2 we get introduction to what I'm guessing is the antagonist in the series. We get an introduction to the antagonist. We get a bit better idea of, it's just an introduction. Actually, basically, you don't really understand what his motives are, why he's doing this, or as a matter of fact, who he is at all, whether he's acting solo or whether he's a part of a larger plan. We really have no idea, but we get our first glimpse at the antagonist. We also see more. Ooh, there's thunder. Oh, that is odd. I can hear thunder right now. It's kind of odd at this time of the year. It is monsoon in other parts of in certain parts of India, but where I am living right now, it hasn't rained at all. So I'm hoping there's rain, because if you're from Chennai, the rains. A good shower is always welcome because it gets extremely hot here. Okay, I digress. So Kaiju number 8. This is one of the few series that the minute I get the volume, I read that volume. So this is volume 8. This is volume 2. Volume 3 should be out, I think, in August. I'm not sure. You can correct me on that. But I thoroughly enjoy my time with this. I was wondering if this would live up to the hype that it was getting. And I tell you right now, it lives up to the hype. It is thoroughly fun. There are some extremely comical moments also. Our main character is so lovable. Kafka as a character is very lovable. He's such a bumbling character, but at the same time he's like the lowest of the lowest among all the recruits, but at the same time he finds a way of using his strengths to help him. in a way that he supports the team more than plays a leading role in it. So it's really fun watching this. I love the main character. The main character is absolutely lovable. So yeah, Kaiju number 8. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Give it a go. It's fun. If shonen's your thing, Kaiju shonen, it's going to be up your alley. I do not regret giving this. And if you were to ask me whether this is overhyped or, it's basically whether it's overhyped, I say not. I say it deserves the hype it's getting. And if this series were to be made into an anime, oh my god, it would be just amazing. I can just imagine the series as an anime being done by some series like Wit or by Studio Wit or by maybe even Mappa or something like that. I don't know. If this, I'm guessing somewhere down the line it's going to be made into an anime, and when it be made into an anime, sign me up because I'm all for it. Kaiju number 8, I highly recommend. Another series that I read is Spy Family Volume 6 and 7. So 7 is the most recent volume that's out right now. So I am as of now up to date with this. I put off reading Volume 6 for some time because I wanted to wait for Volume 7. Volume 6 we get introduced to Nightfall. She is a colleague of Twilight. Twilight, who happens to be the spy. And she is head over heels for him. So at first when I read this series, I was like, okay, it's fun. I didn't expect there to be any romance in it, quite frankly speaking. But from where this series seems to be headed, I don't know. I got this gut feeling that Yor and Lloyd are somehow there's going to be feelings rising up between them. So mainly this girl Nightfall, she's like, why was I not chosen to be the wife of Twilight? Because she's got a huge crush on Twilight. She idolizes the dude. And she's head over heels for him, and she's very extreme. She's like, I want the role of the wife, I want to be the wife, sort of thing. If I were the wife, I'd whip that little girl into shape and get her achieve all the goals, sort of like that. And we see the two of them go off in a mission. There's this amazing tennis match also. Okay, I know a lot of people love tennis, but I personally have never been interested in tennis. I've never watched an entire match, honestly. Please don't come at me. It's just not my thing. But this tennis match in this series was thoroughly enjoyable. It was so crazy. It was so dumb, but it was thoroughly enjoyable. And the one thing about this series is, okay, it's just like how Twilight is supposed to be a master spy. How the hell does he not figure out that there's something about Yor that there's more to her than meets the eye? That despite him being this top class spy, I'm like, how did you not notice this? It's so obvious in the way she acts. But I digress. And the tennis match in Volume 6 was thoroughly enjoyable. However, it did slow down a bit at the end of Volume 6. Volume 7 also, the beginning was a bit slow. So I wasn't sure. We get to know more about Damien. Damien and his friends, we get a little more introduced to him. So Damien's the target of Twilight's missions, son, and he needs to get Anya. He needs to somehow get Anya to befriend Damien, but Anya and Damien, they do not get along. That's a very interesting dynamic between Damien and Anya. Excuse me. So I thought Volume 7 was a little more laid back than Volume 6. Of course, Volume 7 also introduces us to a conflict which Yor has. So it introduces us to the next arc, and Yor starting to having doubts about her profession and stuff like that. So this Volume 7 sets up the new arc. I don't want to spoil what the arc is, but I'm very interested in seeing where it goes. Now I do believe there's a big gap between the next volume coming up, and I really want the next volume to come up so I can read it because I thoroughly enjoy it. I'm also up to date with the anime. That anime is extremely fun. I was so happy that they spent one entire volume on what would have been a filler episode, but it was so nice. It was so sweet, the father-daughter moment between Twilight and Anya. I really enjoyed it. The anime is really fun. If you think maybe the manga is not for you, give the anime a go, because the anime is thoroughly enjoyable. It's there's a reason it's in the top 10 anime right now, and it's one of the best anime of this season. Need I say it may end up being one of the best anime of the year also. It's currently headed in that trajectory. So definitely, if you don't want to give the manga a go, give that. This manga is probably the best jumping on point for anyone who's going to get started in manga, because this is one of the earlier mangas that I ever got. And it's a very good jumping on point for people who are new to manga. It's very light-hearted, it's sweet, there are beautiful family moments, there's action, there's comedy, there's everything. So Spy Family, what can I say that hasn't already been said about the series? So if definitely give it a go. For anyone who dabbles in any genre of manga, Spy Family is just that kind of thing that you can't help but love and thoroughly enjoy. So yeah, volumes 6 and 7 of Spy Family. And last but not least, I started volumes 1 and 2 of The King's Beast. Now before I go any further, I did not know this, but when I read the author's note, I saw volume 1 and 2 were released simultaneously in Japan, and if you put them together like this, they actually form a complete picture. So you can see, I really had no idea about this until I read it, and in the author's note I saw. Now, I have heard mixed things about this series, and personally I can understand where they are coming from. I don't know. I don't know. Personally on this series, I don't know how I feel about it yet. It's just 2 volumes in. There is enough in this series to keep me hooked, but the pacing's a bit slow. They don't really explore the main setup of the series. So our basic setup is, we've got Rengoku here, sorry, not Rengoku, Rangetsu. She had a twin brother, and when they were very young, they're Ajin, so they're demi-humans, and Ajin are generally, they're looked down upon, they're considered inferior, and the young children, they are separated. The girls are sent off to brothels. The boys are, if they have special powers, they are sent to noblemen as servants, as beast servants. And also her twin brother, when they are young, they get separated because her young brother ends up having special powers. And he's sent to the third prince as his beast servant. So it's this guy. So he gets sent to him as his beast servant. Now, something happens. He gets caught up in a whole lot of political intrigue. They never tell us what it is, or they don't even give us a reason why it is, but he gets caught up in something and he ends up getting brutally murdered. Okay, so she's heartbroken. She decides, I am going to find out who killed my twin brother. I'm going to, at first she suspects the third prince. I'm going to, she decides to pretend to be a guy, become one of the nobleman's beast servants, and then find out what happened to her brother, why he was killed, who is behind his death, and basically get her revenge, which at that time she's aiming at this guy. But when she meets him, she finds out he's not at all like what she expected. So it's basically that story. So it's basically her trying to uncover it. Now I thought a lot more emphasis would be put on this plot, on trying to figure out what was the reason her brother was killed, or who did it, or stuff like that. But they hardly, I think they sort of just explored a bit in volume 1, not much. Volume 2 is like it's on a totally different story. The pacing is slow. It is going slow for these first 2 volumes. I can understand why people have mixed feelings, but me personally, it's got just enough to keep me interested and wanting. Also the art style, the art style is gorgeous. Look at these covers. The art style inside is just absolutely gorgeous, and it's really beautiful. So yeah, I personally thought there'd be a lot more political intrigue. There is a very good quantity of political intrigue, but I don't know. I was expecting it to go in a very different direction. I thought it'd be very heavily focused on catching the killer, finding out who what happened and all, but they barely brush over it. So I really hope they focus on that a little bit more. Maybe they will spend a few volumes giving us a better idea of the inner court dynamic and stuff like that, particularly the relationship between the princes and stuff like that. So yeah, I gotta say I was a bit disappointed in volume 1 and 2, but it, like I said, it's got enough to keep me wanting to read more. I do believe it picks up in the later volumes. So yeah, King's Beast volumes 1 and 2. So these are all that I read this month, and I read a decent amount of stuff. Like I said, a good deal was spent on Sweat and Soap, and that just gave me all the good mushy happy things. I was just smiling a 10,000 watt smile at the end of that series. I was so happy for the couple. They are like, their relationship goals for me, sort of. That is all I had for this reading log. Do please, if you guys let me know what you have been reading this month, what you plan to read next month. Hit me up in the comments and let me know. Hearing a comment from you, it makes my day. So I'd love to hear from you. My social media handles are also currently up on the screen, so you can hit me up on those. There are also links in the description down below. So please can't wait to hear from you guys. And if social media is not your kind of thing, I have an email which is up on the screen right now. It is mercy@funny-pajamas.com, pajamas with a Y. So I can't wait to hear from you. I'd love to hear from you guys that way too, if you want to. That's how you want to do it. So that's all I have for you right now. It was an okay month reading wise for me. I had some real bangers of volumes that I read. Like I said, Sweat and Soap, it was just really good. I hope next month also I'm able to keep up my amount of reading. So yeah, that's all I have for you right now. The haul for next time is going to be a bit slim, but I'm going to end right now. I'm not going to blabber anymore. Oh, end it. So that's it. This is Mercy signing out. Bye. Have a good one, everyone. I'll see you in the next one.